What's going on, everybody? This is Jamal from the Hog Sty, back again with another Hog Sty film session. This episode we have Terry McLaurin, wide receiver out of Ohio State, and primarily we'll be looking at three of his 2018 college games, and going from there and see what we can find from Terry, and what he may bring to the table as a Washington Redskin professional NFL receiver. Overall, there seems to be a consensus from the fan base that the Redskins, Jay Gruden specifically, has found his new Deshaun Jackson. So there's a speed factor when it comes to Terry. He runs the 4.3, but he has to prove himself before anything or before anyone should be claiming D-Jax. D-Jax is the #1 receiver. That was no question about it. You don't know if Terry is a bona fide #1 receiver, especially coming out of the system that he came from, and the fact that he was not considered a #1 receiver at Ohio State. So again, there's the speed factor when it comes to Deshaun Jackson, but I'll just say this though: he can be more than a depth special teams player. Can being in quotation marks. Terry is the ultimate utility receiver, which is not a knock, but he is the ultimate utility receiver with good hands and decent route running. He's a good run blocker as well, can make the tough catches. However, there are some things that he will need as a receiver that he'll need to work on before he can improve, before that he can call himself a #1 receiver. And this first play that's going on right now is just a display of his toughness as a receiver. He's not always so. Redskins fans have compared him to Pierre Garçon, and Pierre does run like this with the ball after the catch. So that in itself is impressive. He's tough to bring down, and that's something that's really good for him, and that's good for the offense, because a receiver with this type of mentality, and if you've seen our previous film breakdown with Kelvin Harmon, you'll understand that these two receivers bring an attitude that I can't say the Redskins. Yeah, I'm sorry, the Redskins lack. They lack that type of attitude. He's tough to bring down. He's going for the touchdown. He's going for extra yards. He's not going to be someone who goes down off one contact, or Maurice Harris, he catches the ball and he falls down. For Maurice Harris, I'll give him a slight break, because that's simply somebody who's probably avoiding concussions, but you shouldn't play scared anyway. Back to McLaurin again. That's a contested catch in the end zone. Runs a simple flag route. Impressive within itself. I can't necessarily say there's great route running in this. It's just a simple flag route, but contested catch for a touchdown inside the red zone. Here you'll get the slip the screen, and this was impressive off the. It's actually play calling more so than anything, but McLaurin himself, he did a really good job this drive in particular, selling the run blocks. He was asked to run block and on running back swing routes and actual swings or sweeps outside the tackles towards his side. So he's asked to do this, and it's a simple and easy throw to him more so, because he sold it so well prior to this. Sells the run block, slips up the screen, and Haskins with the pump fake also helps him too. So that's just a contested catch that works out well for him. And right here again, you see Terry McLaurin, what he says: to be honest, doing this makes me more happier than scoring. And I mean, that's impressive, because that type of mentality, you see that he's a selfless player. It's not always about him. It's more so about the team than anything else. You can't really have enough of those players on your team. And that type of mentality trickles down from so many people in that position group when you see a player block like him. And I mean, shoot, even last year, I mean, look at this. Pancake in the defensive end, the edge rusher. This type of mentality trickles down from the position group into the offense, period. You have a guy like Adrian Peterson, who the receivers, the offense really didn't want to let him down. Look how hard he ran. They had an attitude where we cannot let him down. He gives the maximum effort on every carry. McLaurin, he gives maximum effort on every carry. He's a leader in the aspect that he shows by example. I mean, he was also just a bona fide leader in the locker room for Ohio State. And again, you can't have enough of those. You can't have enough leaders. Right here, I'm getting into the issues more so about what McLaurin struggled with. I mean, you'll see as we go along. He has to work on his hand usage at the line of scrimmage, or continue working on it. Struggles against press coverage. He can take himself out of a play. Press coverage is not used at a high rate, I believe, in the NFL, but it's, if that's all the defense needs to negate your speed edge, you would get challenged by every corner in front of you. I mean, even though he has good speed, he can be quicker coming out of routes. Sometimes struggle to create separation. In the games that I've watched, he was used a lot on crossers and drag routes, mesh concepts, basically. And that's used to help get off receivers open more so than taking him downfield. So it points to the fact that the coaching staff may possibly, that's in quotations, may possibly be aware that he struggles in press coverage, making them scheme around that. If defenders are getting a hand on Terry, it can very easily slow him down or allow the defender to stay in their hip. So again, you'll see right here, the very first play, he's running as a simple curl route, but he can't get off the line of scrimmage. Here gets jammed pretty badly, and this is important because it messes up the timing of a route. And for a quarterback, if you're off the timing of the route or the timing of the play, they're not even looking your way. And again, you have to work on that. Here, simple. You can't really see downfield on this, but you can see that he's running a vertical route, maybe a post, I would imagine. But you see number 2 gets a hand on him, and he runs a 4-3. We're talking about McLaurin. But you're not separating if you can't get off the jam. You can't get off tight man-to-man coverage. Struggles. 2 is on his hip the entire way down the field. So again, this is just something that he just has to continue to work on. This in itself is a good catch, and also when you see a guy like this in McLaurin and you can see him create separation through strength, that's one thing. However, you do have to be aware that this type of extension in the NFL, it may cause for a pass interference. Who knows? You just don't know. However, he still struggled in that aspect in tight coverage. He just basically pushed off and created his own separation. So here we go in the Senior Bowl. You'll notice that moving on to the pre-draft evaluation, Terry created a good amount of buzz behind his name, which is very good. The Senior Bowl did him well in front of the national, NFL, and college football media with the NFL scouts. He impressed scouts with his route running and showing the ability to separate with it in addition to his speed. Also, as you'll see, special teams contributions. I don't know why I couldn't spit that word out, but I struggle sometimes, okay? But special teams contributions is a bonus, which creates values for a lot of players, as it shows their willingness to play more on more than one side of the football. Time will tell. If we've seen the Senior Bowl performance, if it trumps some of the issues that we've seen from him in the regular season, if that works well for Washington. So as we finish up, you'll see that the special teams is an added bonus. He doesn't even get touched as he goes down the field on this, and that's just really good. So he can play on one side of the ball, he can play on 2 sides of the ball, or 2 units, offense and special teams. Terry is he's a utility receiver. He's a utility player. He can do a lot for the Redskins. But if we're looking for a number 1 receiver in Terry McLaurin right now, it's not a knock when I say that he's not it, in my opinion. However, he has a ways to go, but he can develop into one. He has the speed. He has the hands to do it. And at the same time, if he continues to work at his hand usage at the line of scrimmage, creating separation for himself, being active with his hands against press coverage, getting better, the development or the coaching at the NFL level will help him achieve that. Just has to keep working on it, keep developing. He can become a better player against press coverage, against man coverage, in my opinion. So he has the skill set. So, or he has the makings of a great skill set. So the Redskins have a good talent. They just have to make sure that he continues to progress, and they have to make sure that they invest into him to make sure that he becomes that weapon or that D-Jax that Jay Gruden desperately needs for this offense. So again, this concludes our episode or film session of Terry McLaurin. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We've been getting good feedback throughout these first few episodes, and we really appreciate it. I appreciate it because you have to start somewhere with this stuff. You know, we're not a polished product, but we will continue to develop and become a more polished product. So again, if this helped, we you know, we're glad you enjoyed it, and we're glad you're able to use this to further analyze a player to which way you want to do it. So again, like, subscribe, follow us on Twitter, follow the podcast. Thanks for listening.